What's up, BTC? I'm Lo Wheeler, Kenra Professional Brand Ambassador, and I'm here to share some of my favorite blonding techniques with you today. I'm here at Wheeler Davis Salon with my beautiful model, Casey. And what we're doing today is going to create a beautiful sun-soaked and beach-washed balayage effect in her hair. Last time I worked on Casey's hair, we did a lot of gold and we built a lot of dimension. So now it's been several months later and my objective is to raise the color up and to create more buttery, beachy dimensional pieces. In your kit, you'll receive some of my favorite Kenra Professional products. The Blue Powdered Lightener by Simply Blonde, 7NA Permanent, and 9PV Demi-Permanent. Make sure you watch the entire tutorial for your chance to win $250 of Kenra Professional products of your choice. When conceptualizing a balayage pattern and placement, the whole objective is to capture the natural essence of sun-kissed organic hair. So the whole point of it is not to overcolor the hair and not to add too much color placement. I'm gonna section Casey's hair so that I make sure that I hit all of our priority pieces so that she walks out of the session today feeling really bright and dimensional. My first color placement is gonna be right beneath the temple here. So I'm gonna take this whole hairline side and divide it into two sections, place my color and repeat on the opposite side. I like to start low and work my way up because it helps me to be clean and orderly with my balayage. Working clean is so important because with balayage, what you see is what you get. This is my favorite lightener right now, Blue Powder Lightener. It offers many levels of lift and has a really good texture for open air painting. As I paint, I make sure I hold each section with a good amount of tension. This allows me to glide the lightener over each surface without pushing the product through and creating blotches and splotches. I'm really happy with this dimensional color placement. At home, you definitely can make this placement your own by adding a second or third ribbon in there. For her, less is more. I really want to keep this interior dimension in here because your balayage only looks as bright as the darkest shadow behind it. So really, by making this placement look this way, it's encouraging a higher contrast. Now I'm going to bring in a money piece at a diagonal, really softly. I'm gonna stay a good 1/8 of an inch away from the actual root area. And this is gonna make my toning so easy. I'm not gonna have to overthink shadow rooting with this application, and if I do choose to do it, it's gonna be to accentuate contrast, not to cover up any streaky patterns. I selected 30 volume for my Blue Powder Lightener because I really love the amount of lift that 30 volume offers. With base colors as soft as Casey's, I could opt to use a 20 volume because her natural base level isn't that dark, but with 20 volume, I would be revealing a little bit more golden tones to her hair, which I don't personally mind. When you see my work, there's a lot of gold in it. I just would rather glaze her hair with a golden undertone instead of reveal her natural underlining pigments. I'm gonna separate the underneath into two sections to keep it really neat and simple. A lot of times people tend to paint the top of this section, which I think is a miss, especially given the fact that a lot of women wear their hair up and want to see the dimension underneath here to create a cohesive look. I'm creating two bolder pieces and tying them together as I saturate through the end. This is gonna create a really soft, beachy effect. I'm gonna cut across this triangular section of the head, drop down this interior section, saving this top area for later. I'm going to group all of this whole section together nice and neatly and create a really bold placement here and just tip it out. With balayage, it's just as important to show restraint and focus on conceptualizing what you do not want to color in the hair as much as it is important as what you do color. This is supposed to be a really natural look in order to have and maintain that beachy aesthetic. My approach to this section is going to be weaving out a beautiful, bold, chunky pattern, leaving this section out. With this whole area of the hair, it's easy to get caught up sectioning and painting every single little nuance of this. And in all reality, you're working way too hard, because to create a beautiful dimensional effect, all of that needs to be deeper in tonal value to create the dimensional effect of this look. So for this section, I'm going to color the last 6 inches of her hair. Look at how much hair Casey has. If I were to go ahead and introduce all this balayage throughout this area, you would never be able to see it anyway, because look at all of these heavy sheets of hair that are going to fall right over it. So I'm now going to separate this section into 2. I know I'm going to carry the same weave pattern through this top section. It's just a matter of how I want to approach this underneath section here. I love this placement for beginners because it's so simple and easy, and I really love it for advanced stylists that are maximizing their schedule and their time, because it's really efficient and quick. Here is our gorgeous result. Casey and I absolutely loved how it turned out. She looks like a surfer mermaid, and we're so obsessed. The overall glaze formula that I used on her today is one of my favorites of all time. It's 9 Pearl Violet, which is incredible for neutralizing any blonde color and reducing excess warmth in the underlying pigment. It's a beautiful finish for warm end results, and you can achieve really cool beigey or ashy effects depending on how many levels of lift that you achieve. For her shadow root, we used 7NA. This is also a daily go-to for me in my blonding techniques. I love 7NA as a permanent as well. This is included in your product set, and I would love to invite you to use your 7NA permanent for a base bump. It is gorgeous. To enter this amazing contest, post a picture of yourself using the products in your kit, tag Kenra Professional, and be sure to include hashtag Kenra Professional, hashtag Kenra Social Climbing. If you're not watching this live, you can easily go to Cosmoprof Beauty to purchase all of the products mentioned in today's tutorial.